think it's only normal that with a loss comes disappointment and being upset, but then again, it's another.
Shocking suspension. Alycia Parks banned after cruel insult to Alex Eala's family. Plus, PH Open frenzy, the only place where the baseline burns and the drama never ends. Strap yourselves in, tennis fans, because we have a breaking story that is absolutely rocking the tennis world to its core. This isn't just about forehands and backhands today. This is about honor, family, and a line that was crossed in the most heartbreaking way possible. If you thought the Australian Open was the end of the fireworks, think again. We have just received official confirmation of a massive disciplinary action that has left the tour in shock. American star Alycia Parks has been suspended indefinitely. You heard that right. Suspended, banned, gone. Why? Because of what she allegedly said to our very own Alex. Comments so personal, so cutting that they targeted the one person Alex fights for every single day, her mother. We're going to break down every angle of this scandal. The fine, the suspension, the tears, and the furious backlash exploding across social media. But that's not all.
While the tennis world
rages,
Alex
Eala has touched down in Manila for a historic moment. The WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open is officially underway, and the Princess of Philippine Tennis is set for a blockbuster showdown against Russia's Alycia. We've got the full draw, the venue updates, and the exclusive scoop on the other Filipino warriors like Steffi Aludo, Elizabeth Abarquet, and more who are defending home soil. This is the biggest update we've ever done. Do not move an inch. Please, before we dive into the fire, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell. You need to be part of the Champions Tennis family as this story unfolds. Let's get into it, folks. We have to start with the heavy hitter. The news dropped just hours ago and it has sent shockwaves through the WTA offices in Florida all the way to the Rizal Memorial in Manila. Alycia Parks, known for her cannonball serve and fiery temperament, has been slapped with a fine of $2,000 and, more significantly, an indefinite suspension by tennis authorities. Now, typically fines in tennis are for racket abuse, time violations, or maybe an audible obscenity. But an indefinite suspension, that is rare, that is severe, that is a career-ending punishment. So what happened? It traces back to that high-octane, incredibly tense first-round match at the Australian Open just days ago. We all watched it. Eala versus Parks. The scoreline ended with Parks taking the win, but the real battle wasn't on the scoreboard. It was in the air. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. According to exclusive sources close to the situation, the trash talk didn't stay on the court. In the heat of the moment, remarks were allegedly hurled by Parks that targeted Alex's family. Specifically, sources confirmed the insults were directed at Alex's mother, Ms. Alycia Eala. Now, for those of you who follow Alex's journey closely, and I know all of you here at Champions Tennis do, you know that her mother is the rock of that family, but you also know the heartbreaking context. Mrs. Eala is currently battling a serious illness. This illness is the very reason she hasn't been seen in the players' box recently. She hasn't been able to travel. She hasn't been able to hug her daughter after those grueling matches in Melbourne. She is fighting a battle much harder than any third-set tiebreak. For an opponent to allegedly weaponize that pain, to use a mother's absence caused by illness as a sledging tactic, it is frankly unspeakable. Sources indicate that these comments caused deep emotional pain, not just to Alex, who had to stand there and take it while trying to focus on her serve, but to the entire Eala family. Imagine being a mother watching from a hospital bed or a recovery room, unable to be there to protect your child, and hearing that your own struggle was used as an insult on national television. It is devastating. The backlash was instant. The incident didn't just stay on the court. It exploded across traditional media and set social media on fire. Hashtags like Justice for Alex and Respect in Tennis began trending within hours. The outcry was so deafening that it prompted the governing bodies to step in immediately. The authorities needed to send a firm message about ethical boundaries and the spirit of sportsmanship. This isn't about being soft. Trash talk is part of sports, but bringing family into it, bringing illness into it, that crosses the line. The suspension is indefinite, which means Parks is in limbo. Her ranking will freeze. Her prize money is on hold. And she has a massive mountain to climb if she ever wants to win back the respect of the locker room. We are waiting for a statement from Alycia Parks' camp. Will she apologize? Will she appeal? As of now, silence. But for Alex Eala, the best revenge is success. And she is looking to serve that revenge cold right here in Manila. Let's shake off that negativity and look at the glorious scene unfolding right now in Manila. Alex Eala is home. After that heartbreaking exit in Melbourne and the ugly controversy with Parks, Alex touched down in the Philippines to a hero's welcome. And the timing could not be more perfect. We are witnessing history, folks. The WTA 125 Philippine Women's Open is finally here.
And the
For decades, Filipino fans have clamored for a legitimate WTA-sanctioned event.
While the tennis world
We've
rages,
had ITFs,
Alex Eala
we've
has
had Davis
touched down
Cups,
in Manila.
but we have never had the Women's Tennis Association bring the tour to our shores until now. The Rizal Memorial Tennis Center has undergone a massive facelift. Reports coming in from the ground say the courts are pristine blue hard courts, mimicking the speed of the Australian
the venue
Open.
updates,
The bleachers
and the
expanded,
scoop
the
on
lights
other
are broadcast
Filipino warriors
quality.
like Steffi
Tournament
Aludo,
organizers
Elizabeth
knew Alex was
Abarque,
coming.
and more
They
who
knew
are
the fans
defending
would
home
come,
soil.
and they
This
have
is
delivered.
the biggest update
The
we've ever
atmosphere
done.
is electric.
Do not move an inch.
It's humid.
Please,
It's
before
loud.
we dive in.
And it is unapologetically Filipino. For Alex, this tournament is everything. She is the number 2 seed. She is the face on the billboards along EDSA. She is the reason ticket sales have gone through the roof. And the draw, oh, the draw has been revealed and it is spicy. The round of 32 main draw matches have been unveiled this Saturday, and Alex Eala has a target on her back. Alex will face Alina Kariva of Russia in her opening match. Do not sleep on Kariva. I repeat, do not sleep on her. Let's look at the tail of the tape. Alina Kariva is a formidable baseline grinder. She hit a career-high ranking of number 142 back in September 2025. She knows what it takes to win. She has 6 ITF titles to her name. She was a finalist at the WTA 125 in Hua Hin, proving she thrives at this exact level of competition. She made her tour-level debut at the WTA 500 in Tokyo. This is a woman who has played on the big stages. Here is the nugget of information that makes this match dangerous. These two have history. They met way back in the ITF circuit, specifically at the W15 Milia in Spain in 2020. In that match, Kariva defeated a very young Alex. She knows how to beat her. She has the mental edge of having a win against the Filipino star. However, that was 2020. That was junior Alex. The Alex Eala of 2026 is a Grand Slam junior champion, a top 50 player, and a seasoned pro. Kariva plays a heavy, consistent game. She will try to extend rallies, waiting for Alex to make an error. She knows Alex is coming off a controversial, emotional week in Australia. She knows Alex is under immense pressure to perform for the home crowd. Kariva's strategy will be to silence the Rizal Memorial crowd by frustrating Alex early. But Alex has the lefty advantage. Her forehand has been clocking higher speeds this season. If Alex can dictate the points and use the Manila roar, the energy of thousands of fans chanting her name, she can blow Kariva off the court. This match is scheduled for the primetime slot. The whole nation will be watching. Can Alex channel the anger from the Parks incident and the love from the Manila crowd into a dominant performance? We are predicting a 3-set thriller, but with Eala coming out on top. While Alex is the headliner, the Philippine Women's Open is showcasing the depth of Filipino talent. We are not a one-player nation anymore. We have to give a massive shout-out to Steffi Aludo. Remember that name. This 17-year-old sensation has just carved her name into the history books. Steffi Aludo has become the first ever winner of a WTA matchup on Philippine soil. In the qualifying round this Saturday, she faced fellow Filipina Angelina Alcala. The scoreline, a demolition job, 6-1, 6-0. Aludo was ruthless. Reports say she didn't let Alcala breathe. She started with a blistering forehand winner and ended the match with the exact same shot. It was poetic. It was dominant. Winning a bagel in your first WTA appearance, that is ice cold. Steffi Aludo now moves on to face Sakura Hasogi of Japan in the next round of qualifiers. Hasogi is experienced, but Aludo has momentum. If she gets through, she enters the main draw alongside Eala. Let's look at the other Filipinos who have secured their spots in the main draw. These ladies are diving into the deep end against world-class competition. Elizabeth Abarque takes on Mai Hontama of Japan. This is a tough draw. Hontama is a legitimate tour player. She made her main draw debut at the Australian Open back in 2024. She plays flat and fast. Abarque will need to serve well and disrupt Hontama's rhythm. It's a classic David versus Goliath setup, and we love those. Kian Amina faces Tatiana Prozorova of Russia. One of our rising collegiate stars, Amina faces the 22-year-old Russian who holds 7 ITF titles and has been ranked as high as 140. Amina will need the match of her life, but playing at home does strange things to the odds. Tenny Midas versus Menanchaya Sawankhayu of Thailand gives us a Southeast Asian derby. Sawankhayu is in great form, having reached the final of the WTA 125 in Mumbai. She knows the conditions. She knows the Asian style of play. This will be a battle of speed and agility. Midas is the underdog, but she's a fighter. Also in the mix, we have Lorraine Jallarina, who is currently battling Pino Pipu of Thailand in the qualifiers. We are sending all our support to Lorraine to fight for that main draw spot. You have to step back and realize what this week means. On one side of the world, we have the ugly side of tennis, the Alycia Parks incident, the disrespect, the toxicity, the reminder that sportsmanship is fragile. On the other side, here in Manila, we have the beautiful side. A nation rallying behind its athletes. Young girls like Steffi Aludo getting their first taste of the big leagues. Alex Eala coming home to heal and to conquer. This is the duality of sport. Photographers are capturing images of the venue, the crowds, and the players trying to document this moment in Philippine sports history. Journalists are filing stories about the cultural significance of the event, interviewing local officials about the investment in infrastructure, and speaking with young players at local academies about how Alex Eala has inspired them. This is the kind of comprehensive coverage that helps grow the sport beyond just the scores and statistics. The weather in Manila during this time of year is typically warm and humid, which affects playing conditions significantly. Balls can become heavier in humid air, not traveling quite as fast through the atmosphere. Players sweat more profusely, requiring frequent towels and increasing the risk of dehydration if fluid intake isn't carefully managed. The sun, when it's shining directly on the court, can make visibility challenging for serves and overhead shots. These environmental factors add another layer of complexity to an already demanding sport. Players who have grown up in similar climates have a natural advantage in adjusting to the conditions. For Alex, having trained extensively in Spain, where conditions can vary dramatically from hot, dry summers to cooler, damp winters, she's experienced a wide range of playing environments. But there's still something special about competing at home in the climate you grew up in, eating familiar food, sleeping in a familiar place, being surrounded by your language and culture. These subtle comforts can make a significant difference in a player's performance and mental state. The prize money for a WTA 125 event is substantial enough to make a real difference in the careers of players ranked outside the top 100. For many competitors, this represents a significant portion of their annual income. The winner typically takes home around $15,000 to $20,000, with the prize pool distributed across all rounds. For Filipino players competing on home soil, even reaching the second round can represent an important financial boost that funds future training and travel to other tournaments. Professional tennis is expensive. Coaching, travel, accommodation, stringing rackets, physiotherapy. All of these costs add up quickly. Many players outside the top 50 operate on tight budgets, carefully calculating which tournaments to enter based on prize money potential versus travel expenses. This financial reality makes every match meaningful, every ranking point valuable. It's part of what makes the grind of the lower-level tours so challenging. Players are fighting not just for ranking points and victories, but for their ability to continue funding their careers. It adds a layer of pressure that fans watching from home might not fully appreciate. When you see a player celebrating winning a first-round match, they are not just happy about the victory itself. They are often relieved about the financial cushion it provides for the next few weeks of competition. The mental resilience required to maintain a professional tennis career cannot be overstated. The constant travel, the pressure to perform, the physical demands, the financial stress, the loneliness of being on the road, these factors create enormous psychological challenges. Many talented players flame out not because their tennis skills weren't sufficient, but because they couldn't handle the mental and emotional aspects of professional competition. Sports psychologists have become increasingly important in modern tennis, helping players develop coping strategies, maintain motivation, manage anxiety, and build confidence. For Alex, having access to sports psychology support, whether formal or informal, will be crucial as she navigates this pressure-filled week. The ability to compartmentalize, to focus on the controllable elements of her performance while letting go of the external noise will determine whether she can perform at her best. Meditation, visualization, breathing exercises, pre-match routines, all of these tools can help center an athlete's mind and prepare them for competition. The best players in the world aren't necessarily always the most talented. Often, they are the ones who best manage their mental game under pressure. As Monday approaches and the main draw begins, the anticipation throughout Metro Manila is palpable. Sports sections and newspapers are dominated by Philippine Women's Open coverage. Radio shows are analyzing matchups and making predictions. Social media is flooded with messages of support for the Filipino players. Alex's Instagram following has surged in recent days as casual fans become invested in her story. The crossover between sports fandom and national pride is powerful, turning individual athletic competitions into collective cultural moments. This is what separates a regular tournament from an event. An event transcends sport. It becomes about identity, representation, history, and possibility.
But that's not all.
It becomes about a nation seeing itself reflected on a global stage and liking what it sees. It becomes about young people glimpsing a future they didn't know existed. It becomes about communities coming together around shared hope and pride. The Philippine Women's Open is an event, and right at the center of it all is Alex Eala, carrying the weight of expectation, but also buoyed by an ocean of support. She's been training for this moment her entire life. Not specifically for this tournament, but for the opportunity to represent her country at the highest level, to make her family proud, to justify all the sacrifices, to inspire the next generation, to prove that Filipino athletes belong on the world stage. We are going to be covering the Philippine Women's Open gavel to gavel. We will have updates on every Alex Eala match, every upset, and every twist in this developing story with Alycia Parks. Do you think the suspension for Alycia Parks was fair? Was it too harsh or not harsh enough? Let us know in the comments below. We want to hear your take on the trash talk versus harassment debate. And what are your predictions for Alex Eala versus Alina Cariva? Will Alex get her revenge for that 2020 loss? Drop your score predictions. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Share this video with every tennis fan you know. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Champions Tennis. We are your courtside pass to the world of tennis. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, keep your eye on the ball. We'll see you in the next one. Support the capital. That is a special moment.